All right, welcome back to Just Car Guys, the show where me and my dad talk about the latest and greatest car news and car stories from the last week.
As a reminder, I haven't seen any of the content that Anthony's prepared for us today, so looking forward to seeing what you got.
Yeah, it's been a pretty crazy week with the Munich Auto Show, so we got some pretty cool stuff here. Starting off, we have tons of new news from Mercedes regarding their future EVs.
Okay.
First up here, AMG is going electric. Introducing the 2023 Mercedes AMG EQS 53 AMG Plus. Using the Mercedes EQS platform, AMG has changed the car quite a lot. With that, the first being horsepower. The AMG comes with 649 horsepower and 700 pound-feet of torque, shooting the car from 0 to 60 in 3.8 seconds and hitting a governed top speed of 137 miles per hour. If that isn't enough for you, then you can also opt for the AMG Dynamic Plus package, bringing total horsepower to 751 and cutting 0 to 60 to 3.4 seconds with a top speed of 155 miles per hour. AMG has also upgraded the cooling system and, of course, the driving modes to reflect a more performance-based driving experience. There's also the addition of software to help the driver on the racetrack, such as the Track Pace feature. This allows the driver to compare previous lap performances and see a bunch of data and all that cool stuff.
Interesting. Well, I got to tell you, it makes me a little bit nervous about AMG. I mean, look, here's the thing. Anything AMG does, you know, it's wonderful.
Yeah.
Part of what makes the AMGs cool is that exhaust
It's a
note.
V8.
It's the exhaust note. So I hope they've got a way to add, you know, some of that just excitement.
Flavor.
Yeah. Because that's what it is. The sound of the vehicle adds to the experience.
Oh, it's just so good.
You can even watch some other car reviewers and you see that, you know, one of the things that comes out of like the Porsche 911 Turbo.
Yeah.
It's the flagship. It is the fastest car they make, period. But everyone says it lacks a little something, right? And it's not it doesn't make the hair on the back of your neck stand up.
Mm-hmm.
It does from a speed standpoint,
Yeah.
but there's something else, and it's because the
Missing the noise.
exhaust note is muted,
Yeah.
right? So you know, I start thinking about
dull.
that is the fastest car that's out there, pretty much, right?
Just about, yeah.
And it has been every year, right? But somehow it's missing something, and that's probably what it is. So as we continue to move to these electric vehicles, which are now going to be the fastest things on the road, what are they going to do to make them exciting?
Exactly. No, I agree 100%. That'll be interesting to see how that evolves.
Yeah.
The interior looks pretty cool. They just
Look at that.
Mercedes.
Yeah.
They just do fantastic with their interior.
I'll tell you what, though, that steering wheel seems like a little much, man. Don't you think? I get that, but that's a lot of buttons and like, I don't know.
Yeah.
There's a lot tucked on that steering wheel. It's like double what you would normally see. You get two sets.
It's double decker on the
Yeah.
thing. That is interesting.
That's pretty wild.
What I do love though is their drive selector on the
Mhm.
bottom right there. I love that so much. And check out that's that Mercedes Hyper screen. Talk about integrated for that. Huh?
Yeah, that's
the whole
beautiful. They did a
dash.
nice job though.
It's fantastic.
But
yeah.
it looks like it goes. It belongs. Like it
fits.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, I really like it. I think it looks kind of cool. The exterior's a little lacking, but that's also, I mean, that's kind of part of it. I don't know. It's kind of cool to have a really fast, high horsepower car that doesn't look that cool.
Yeah, I don't know. I get to a certain extent, yes, right? Like a sleeper.
Yeah.
But you can always pick out an AMG car in a parking lot or coming down the other side of the road.
But I still
And
even
that,
think you can with this.
I don't know if that doesn't necessarily say
compared-
AMG.
It does when you look at the other EQS.
Okay, fair enough.
That's the thing.
Gotcha.
Now, again, more Mercedes here. Next is the electric version of the Mercedes-Benz E-Class. So here is the 2023 Mercedes-Benz EQE 350, which is essentially the electric variant of the E-Class. They're not like directly the same platform, but it's that version in the lineup. The EQE 350 is the first model of the EQE lineup and will come with a 288 horsepower via an electric motor on the rear axle. Then later we will see all-wheel drive versions with a motor on the front axle, also exceeding total horsepower of 400, as well as you can expect a AMG variant down the line, of course. The name of the game with this is luxury. The interior features the optional hyper screen, and in Europe, passengers can even watch movies, but if the camera monitoring system detects the driver looking over, the content becomes blocked, which is interesting. Mercedes claims a driving range of 410 miles, and the EQE 350 will hit dealerships mid-2022.
410 miles is pretty good.
Look at that, though.
Yeah. Well, they did a nice job with the interior lighting.
It's just so good.
Yeah, the glow that's coming around that dash insert and everything. See, now there is an integrated screen.
That's that hyper screen I was talking about.
That looks good.
I like it, actually.
That first photo, I get so many vibes of a Volkswagen. Just the front. It does look like
the headlights. I don't know which Volkswagen I'm thinking of, but it looks like a Volkswagen.
Jetta or something. Yeah. I don't know. I was just like, wow, okay.
It's very interesting. Back looks exactly the same as all the other EQ sedans.
Yeah.
Mercedes. It seems like Mercedes is really betting on electricity and creating a variant for just about every single model they have. Here we have the Mercedes-Benz EQG Concept, which, as you can see, retains a majority of the styling elements we are used to seeing from the G-Wagon. This is a near production concept, and each wheel gets its own electric motor, giving the concept four-wheel drive. Don't be surprised also if we get an AMG version of this one as well.
Oh, that's cool.
Interesting. I mean, it just looks like a G-Wagon.
Yeah.
All right, and again, still more Mercedes. Now we've touched on the AMG side and the normal side of Mercedes. Now, Maybach is also coming to the EQ platforms, and their concept here, I'm going to say I do not like it. So the EQS SUV has been teased and is set to hit the market next year as a 2023 model. The vehicle is set to have around 370 miles of range and only available with front and rear motors. Here we have the Mercedes Maybach EQS Concept. There are not much details around this yet except for these pictures, and yeah.
So, my opinion, I think the electric that should be for all the high-end models like luxury sedans. That is, that's where it goes, and obviously it provides a level of performance that you're not going to get with a combustion engine, but you still have the sound thing you got to figure out. However, I don't know, why do you think?
I think it's ugly, dude. I think it's horrible.
Cover up those wheels and then look at it.
No, it's the front end.
You
I
think
that looks like trash?
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of the front end, but I think the wheels do it no justice at all.
I think it looks horrible.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. You have to have the back's fine.
Yeah, the back looks like a Lincoln.
But that looks horrible.
Yeah.
I hate it. So, but you know what I do not hate and what is absolutely beautiful? The interior.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Oh, wow.
Obviously that's a rendering of what it might look like, but still, if it looks anything close to that, that looks pretty fancy.
Yeah, those seats look like
big money.
Butter. The quality of that
so
leather.
soft.
You can tell it's soft.
Yeah,
You're not
exactly.
even sitting in it, but you can tell. Yeah.
So, next up here, the Volkswagen ID Buzz is going to help launch an autonomous driving system. In partnership with Argo AI, VW is aiming to create self-driving vehicles, the first of which being the ID Buzz using LiDAR modules, cameras, radar sensors, and an onboard computer, allowing the vehicle to look for obstacles 400 meters ahead. Volkswagen plans to start a test fleet in Munich within the next few months, and they have a goal of launching automated vehicles in urban areas by 2025 with a focus on ride sharing and stuff like that.
Okay. Interesting. Yeah.
I'm still not sure how I feel about self-driving. I don't trust them yet. I wouldn't trust them.
They're not there yet, for sure.
Yeah, definitely not.
I get having the assist, right?
Oh, yeah.
Some of that. So
like some of those driver assists they have now, like the emergency braking and all that stuff.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
I mean, you could argue though, like at some point it's going to get I guess what's good enough? Because
being able to drive by itself without.
Do you trust other drivers?
Not always.
Exactly. So at a certain point, electric vehicle that's not perfect but close to is going to be better than the average driver, right? Because we're ourselves included, not perfect, right?
Yeah.
And then there's everybody. There's a lot of other people that are less than perfect, right?
Yeah, very.
So at some point we'll feel more comfortable with these on the road than
other people.
Right? I don't know.
No, I mean, I think you're 100% correct on that one. That's funny. Next, as a BMW fan, I kind of hope this is not the direction that they end up taking, but this BMW concept would be 100% recyclable. Introducing the BMW iVision Circular, with the main goal being to showcase what a concept BMW from 2040 would be according to the brand's current goals.
Well,
glad it's not 2040
I mean,
yet.
it's extreme. You know, if I had to call out one thing that's a positive, the grill's a little better. It's better though.
It's not huge, yeah. I really do not like this vehicle. To achieve 100% recyclability, the BMW uses solid-state batteries and opts for cords, press studs, and quick-release fasteners over bonded connections and composite materials. The body is also built with recycled aluminum, and the interior gets pretty interesting with many wild colors, fabrics, and a crazy-looking dashboard, where BMW says the vehicle...
What?
This is, quote, where the vehicle's thinking is visualized. Dude, I don't know what they've got over at BMW HQ, but they got stuff.
Wow. Okay. Huh. Did you see the pedal configuration as well? And wow. Okay. Well, here's the thing. The outside,
horrible.
Well, think if it's replacing like the i3,
the i3,
right?
That'd be cool.
Yeah, that's a cool replacement for i3.
The i3 is horrible.
It's not an M car, right? Like it's not,
right.
So if that's that line, right?
Looking for something to fit you.
Well, not everybody needs is looking for like a super sporty sedan. If they want something that's electric, they get around town and stuff. That's kind of small. I need to understand that a little better. Well, they said that's where you can visualize what
the dash is. That weird crystal.
I wonder if it moves or like.
Well, that's what's got to do.
You would think.
Dude, nope.
Does it got any vents? No vents?
Nah. In the future, we won't need air.
We don't need vents. Where are people going to put their phone?
In their pocket?
They need that phone. You have to have a magnetic phone clip in the future that goes on your vent. No.
Next here, probably the saving grace for this episode, and by far the coolest thing.
Right.
It's so cool. I'm really hyping it up. Next is an absolutely incredible concept from the one and only Porsche.
Oh, all right.
The Munich Auto Show, Porsche revealed the Mission R concept.
Oh my goodness.
This vehicle is built on the idea of Porsche's all-electric future and the future of customer racing vehicles. Look at that.
That is so cool.
BMW's messing around making electric cars that look like this. Now that's a concept.
So fascinating that they're using the Mission terminology, because that's how the Taycan started. It was a Mission E, right? So I guess and it has styling, the front end of the Taycan, really, and the rear of like a GT3.
It's fantastic.
That thing is awesome.
Perfect. Like I could not be happier, I think, with an electric race car.
Yeah.
Like it looks so cool. So the Mission R features 2 electric motors, one 429 horsepower on the front axle and a 644 horsepower motor on the rear, while in race mode, the vehicle delivers a consistent 671 horsepower, and in qualifying mode, a total of 1,073 horsepower.
That's awesome.
As far as actual track action goes, the vehicle gets its power from an 80 kilowatt hour battery that Porsche claims can give 30 to 45 minutes of track racing.
Wow.
Pretty cool.
looks like it's got like active like venting in the
active
front
arrow
and
all
active
over the
arrow and
because they even
So-
said that it's so like high performance extreme that it needs similar cooling to like the GT3 Cup car.
So let me ask you this. As you just mentioned that, how closely does the GT3 RS usually resemble the race car?
Very.
They have not launched the RS yet. Just the GT3.
You don't think it would look like that, do you?
Maybe the next one.
Probably the next one.
Yeah, this one probably not the 992, but maybe that's like a 99. I don't know what they'll end up using.
But man, it
That
looks
is
good.
That's awesome.
So
but
all
you
this-
could. That's not extreme enough to not have to be a road car. Like you could. They could.
Oh,
They
totally.
could take that and make an RS road car look very
100%.
similar, which would be amazing.
Taycan RS.
Mhm.
So with that, all this horsepower rockets the Mission R from 0 to 60 in less than 2.5 seconds and hits a top speed of 186 miles per hour. The Mission R is also supposed to be able to match lap times of the current 911 GT3 Cup cars, and with a 900-volt system, it can recharge from 5 to 80% in just 5 minutes with the right
Oh
equipment.
wow. Okay.
As this is currently just a prototype, Porsche says it will require further development and we may not even see a full version until 2025 or 2026, but they have not confirmed if they will actually produce it.
Yeah. Well, you
And
can
just
you
look
can
at
at
this,
least
man.
see their vision and what they're thinking, right?
Now, but that's perfect.
Yeah.
I have no problems with this vehicle.
Yeah.
Except just sound. Like, that's it. Everything else is fantastic. Just in time before deliveries, Rivian has received its range rating from the EPA. The official EPA estimates are only for the launch edition models of the R1T and the R1S, which come with a 135 kilowatt hour battery pack. The EPA said this setup will be good for 314 miles of range in the R1T. It's 74 mpge in the city and 66 mpge on the highway. The R1S, even though it uses the same battery, gets a slightly higher rating at 316 miles of range, but 73 mpge city and 65 mpge highway.
Yeah.
I
I
don't
don't
know.
know
I
how they
wanna know
make
more.
I don't know how they make the calculation for MPGE anyway. So like I don't know where that
I have
comes
no
from.
clue
so
either, and I would love to know.
Maybe
I
we need to
do
figure
more
that
research,
out.
Yeah.
Drop it in the comment. Let us know if you know.
Please do.
Or we'll go look it up.
So, Hyundai is becoming the first major automaker to commit to a hydrogen future and is developing a sports car with Rimac.
Great.
Introducing here, this is the hydrogen-fueled sports car called the Concept FK. They released some images and a few specs saying the car would be capable of 671 horsepower with a combination of hydrogen fuel cell powering the front axle and an electric motor powering the rear. Hyundai claims it will reach 0 to 60 in less than 4 seconds and will have a range of 373 miles. The Hyundai Chief Marketing Officer Thomas Schimera said, quote, "We are absolutely convinced we are on the right track and we cannot survive with battery technology alone. This is our firm belief."
Wow, good for them. Getting creative
Cool.
out there. Yeah, let's get into some hydrogen.
Wide body on there
Yeah,
or
that's
something?
cool.
That's awesome. Next here, Ford has teased the next generation of the Ford Ranger. This week, we received a video from Ford's Australian and European arms showing the new Ranger attacking many different types of terrain and environments. These Australian and European branches say the next generation will debut later this year and will launch in 2022, but details are still unknown for the US version. And last but not least, the 2022 Subaru WRX has been revealed.
Yeah.
The WRX now rides on a new platform and of course receives all-wheel drive with torque vectoring as standard. The WRX retains mostly the same shape we are used to, with some much more aggressive front and rear styling, with the rear looking much more inspired from like the BRZ, especially in the taillights here.
Oh yeah.
The WRX also gains a whopping 3 extra horsepower over the last generation and is powered by a turbocharged 2.4-liter flat-4 engine, producing 271 horsepower and 258 pound-feet of torque.
3 horsepower. Like, at what point do you just not even bother mentioning it? You know,
No,
like,
exactly. Like, oh, it has
there's a
1
margin of
horsepower
error.
more.
You know. With the,
Yeah,
like,
exactly. Very interesting. So the first time I saw it, I really didn't like it. I think these pictures make it look better. I wish they would have made it more different, because if you think about every WRX generation, like they're completely different cars, but like this one is, I mean, it's not that much different than the last one.
The rear's quite a bit different, but yeah, the side profile for sure. You know what this does is it makes me want to see the STI.
Yes, exactly. No, I agree 100%.
Right? Like,
yeah.
Like I want to see the bigger scoop. I want to see the wing. How will those things look on that car?
I agree 100%.
But, yeah, it's all right.
So then, of course, you can opt for a 6-speed manual transmission or a CVT, and there's also the addition of a new GT model getting adaptive dampers, Recaro front seats, and GT-specific wheels. You can also expect an STI model, which is expected to have around 400 horsepower.
All right, yeah.
So with that is it for today's episode. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and check us out on TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter at AnthonyCIFAL. And with that, you have an excellent rest of your week.
Thanks for hanging out with us for a bit, and we'll catch you next time.
Peace out.